Okay, hello. Happy New Year, since it's my first video of 2023. Hope 2023 has been a good one so far. It continues to be a good one for you all. And if it's not been a good one, well, as a wise man once said, it's getting better all the time. Anyway, recently I was going through all my videos that I've ever uploaded, and I was shocked to see an album missing, which I had assumed I'd done, but I haven't, so I'm going to do it today. The Masterplan by Oasis. A compilation album from 1998. So before I get into it, this is the front cover. Really like the front cover of this album. That is the back cover, which I've never liked. It's just a blurry photo of the band rehearsing. I don't know if it's the Nebworth rehearsals or the Main Road rehearsals or something, but it's that period looking at them. As the gatefolds for you. Anyway, stick that on there. I won't get the records out because it's just a black vinyl, so there's no need to show that. Anyway, get my trusty iPad with my facts and statistics. This album, it was released on the 2nd of November 1998. It was Oasis' last release on Creation Records. And as I said, this was a compilation album. So what it is compiling is a collection of B-sides. Not all of their B-sides, but some of them. Arguably their best B-sides. Well, in their opinion, their best B-sides is maybe they've maybe left a few songs off that you feel are better than some of the stuff on here. But anyway, that's by the by. So I assume you'll probably know this already, but if you don't, I'm surprised you're watching this, but if you don't, Oasis had a tendency to make their B-sides bloody good songs, and for most bands, what Oasis put out as their B-sides, they would put out as their A-sides, and it would be probably some of the best songs that band would ever do. But Noel, at the time, being young and arrogant, seemed to just have the attitude that, well, I've wrote this song as a B-side, so it's going to be a B-side, regardless of how good it was. Now, this album came out in the period between Be Here Now and Standing on the Shoulder of Giants. I don't think anyone would dispute the fact that Definitely Maybe and Morning Glory, those two albums, are masterpieces. Be Here Now, however, is a much more divisive album. There are people out there who seem to think it's a masterpiece. There are people out there who think it's utter crap. There's people out there who sort of in the middle who think it's an alright album, but it's nothing special, which is kind of where I sit with Be Here Now. It's an alright album, it's nothing special. I know Noel absolutely hates the album, and I think now he regrets his arrogance of not holding on to some of these songs, because if the Masterplan here, if this had been Oasis' third album, then it would be on the same level as Morning Glory and Definitely Maybe. It would just be as good. So yeah, realistically what Noel should have done was hold on to the songs that ended up getting released as B-sides and keep that for album number 3. And the majority of the songs that ended up on Be Here Now is what probably should have been the B-sides, the quality of some of them. But again, that would have been an alternative universe. That's not where we are. In reality, Be Here Now is what it is, and this is all their B-sides. So yeah, that's what we're going to talk about today. So this album itself was originally never supposed to be released here in the UK. It was only ever intended for release in America and Japan. The reason being that a lot of these songs had not actually been released in the US or Japan. The only way to get them in those countries was to import European singles. But Creation Records and Oasis obviously changed their mind and ended up releasing it in the UK as well, and Europe, and it reached number 2 here in the UK, which is pretty good going. All the Oasis studio albums got to number 1, but there was nothing on this album that people in the UK hadn't already heard. It was a compilation, so the fact it got to number 2 as a compilation album goes to show it's probably a good album, if people are willing to buy most of these songs for a second time. Anyway, upon its release, the album received mixed reviews from critics. I would say verging more towards negative reviews. People saying that it's just more of the same, really. It's just them attempting to be a Beatles tribute act, and I've seen one review say that Half the World Away and Head Shrink were the only 2 good songs on it. But in more recent years, reviews have become much more positive of this album, and many critics go as far as to call this Oasis' best work. So there we go. Opinions obviously change. Prior to its release in the US, Acquiesce was released as a radio-only single. For those of you that don't know what that is, it's kind of self-explanatory in the title. It's a song that the band released as an intended single from the album, but only for radio stations, so you and I couldn't buy it as a single. It could only be bought It was just a song for the radio to play, basically, to promote it. So yeah, that was Acquiesce. So that's kind of all there is to say about the background of this album, other than this cover. I know there is a load of like hidden Easter eggs in this cover, which I've forgotten them all. I know definitely Maybe is there. I assume that's Noel's guitar. I think that's the awards that the band had won. Yeah, I think there is other Easter eggs relating to like other Oasis songs and stuff, but I kind of remember. So we'll just have to get on with the track by track review, I suppose. So it opens with Acquiesce, which was originally the B-side to Some Might Say. Noel has said, I think it's Noel said on a few occasions, that if he had to pick a song to define Oasis, it would be Some Might Say. And I do kind of get that point of it being Some Might Say, but I disagree. I think it's this song, and I think a lot of people would argue this is the song that defines Oasis, and I think probably it's because that both Liam and Noel sing on it. This song, it is brilliant in every sense of the word brilliant, and how on earth this ended up as B-side, most bands would kill for a song like this. Yeah, I mean, it was a B-side, and Oasis often opened with this song at some of their gigs. Yeah, fantastic song. It would have been amazing as well to have seen them do this live at their peak in the 90s. I know in the later years they did play this sometimes, but when Liam was at the top of his vocal game, it must have been amazing to see. I have seen Liam do this live once or twice. I'm not going to beat around the bush. When I seen Liam do it live, it was terrible. Why on earth he decided to do this without Noel, I don't know, but in my opinion, it didn't work without Noel. In the same way, if Noel did this without Liam, it wouldn't work. It needs both of them. It needs both of them, or don't bother. Thankfully, I think he's dropped it from his set list now. But yeah, Noel and Liam's vocals as well, they really complement each other on this song. The way Liam does his usual sort of nasally thing on the verse that then flows into Noel's more higher pitched vocals on the chorus. Yeah, really good. Really like Acquiesce. Brilliant, brilliant song. How on earth it was B-side, I don't know. Right, next up, Underneath the Sky. This was the B-side to Don't Look Back in Anger. I've never been a massive fan of this song. It's never massively stood out to me. I don't think it's one of the standouts of the album. I don't think this really deserved a place on any Oasis album or as an A-side or anything. It's okay, but nothing special. Liam sings it well, and there's a nice little piano solo in it as well from, I assume it's Bonehead who plays the piano solo at this point. Yeah, decent enough, but it's not spectacular. Unlike the next track, track 3, Talk Tonight, which was originally the B-side to Some Might Say. This was, of course, when it was CD singles, by the way, so there was multiple B-sides. Obviously, in the olden days of proper B-sides on vinyl, you could only have one song as the B-side. Oasis tended to have 3 B-sides on their CD singles. Anyway, Talk Tonight, this, in my opinion, is one of the very, very best Oasis songs. It's a really, really moody song. For those of you that don't know the story of this song, basically during a tour of the US in '94, Noel and Liam had I think it was in LA when they played Whiskey A Go Go. They'd all taken drugs except for Noel, I think. I'm not sure if Noel had, but anyway, they ended up performing really, really crap, and Noel wasn't happy, and there was a fight and stuff, and Noel ran off to San Francisco, where he spent a weekend with a woman who, to this day, he claims he doesn't know who it is. He can't remember her. And he wrote this song about her, about that time when he ran away. And what a brilliant song. What a really, really moody song. He did obviously eventually go back and rejoin the band for the rest of the tour. And I think as soon as he went back, he actually went into a studio in America and recorded this. So he didn't hang about. But yeah, that story of him running away and having a lost weekend in San Francisco, I love the story. I love that story, and it really, really does show through in the lyrics where Noel was mentally at that point. One of the things as well about this song is the subtle hand claps throughout it. It's one of them things, you don't notice it, but then once you do notice it, you can't unnotice it, if that makes sense. Yeah, really like the hand claps. And Noel's harmonies. When Noel sings a lead and then he harmonises with himself, he's obviously overdubbed the harmonies, but it's out of this world. He does it a few times on this album, and it's fantastic. Noel's voice really blends well with itself. When he does it live as well, he has his bassist Russ Pritchard do the backing vocals, and he knocks it out the park as well. Which, yeah, it's brilliant. I've seen Noel do this live once, I think, once or twice. I've definitely seen him do it live once, and yeah, absolutely fantastic song. Again, I've wrote here, why the hell was this a B-side? This was worthy to go on any Oasis album. Yeah, brilliant song. And there's a great little keyboard solo on it as well from Bonehead. I think live, Noel now replaces that keyboard solo with a guitar solo from Gem. But the keyboard solo on here, really, really nice. And I've also wrote here, this is some of Noel's best lyrics. I love the line, all your dreams are made of strawberry lemonade and stuff, and the line, I'll never say that I won't ever make you cry. I just think they're really, really good lyrics. Yeah, great song talk tonight, one of the standout songs of this album, and one of Oasis's very, very best tracks. Right, track 4, Going Nowhere. This was the B-side to Stand By Me. Yeah, I always forget, to be honest, how good this song is. I won't go as far as I forget it exists, because I do remember it existing, but I always forget how good it is. And this is one of 2 songs on the album that has a full orchestra on it. A full piece orchestra playing on a B-side. What's that all about? Yeah, it's a brilliant song. Again, same thing we talked tonight. Noel does some harmonies on this with himself, which sound out of this world. Excellent. Brilliant. When the chorus kicks in is when he does it. And this style of song, I think Noel's voice is perfect for. If Liam sang this, it wouldn't be the same as what it is here. It wouldn't be as good, I don't think, because I always feel that Noel is able to get more emotion out of his voice than Liam. And I think that's probably because he wrote it. Noel knows what it's about, whereas Liam just sounds like he's been given a bit of paper with some words on and he's just singing it. Whereas Noel can sing it with more emotion in his voice because he knows what it's about. And I think that shows on a song like this. So yeah, Going Nowhere. It's a song I always forget how good it is. But every time it comes on, I'm like, bloody hell, that's great. Yeah, really like it. Track 5, Fadeaways, B-side 2, Cigarettes and Alcohol. First thing I want to say, I prefer the War Child version of this. I've got the vinyl, should have got it out actually. In 1996, I think, or 97, it was maybe even 95. In one of those years, War Child released an album called The Help Album. And the first track on it was Fadeaway, which was by Oasis and Friends, which was an acoustic version of this with Noel singing the lead, Liam singing backing vocals. I think Johnny Depp's on the slide guitar. I think Kate Moss is singing some backing vocals on it. Yeah, it's a really, really good version, and it is the best version of this song in my opinion. But the version on here, which is the B-side to Cigarettes and Alcohol, this is the one that Liam sings, and it's a very, very punk sounding song, this. It's much louder. It's much more in your face. And Tony McCarroll's drums on here, they really, really do drive this song. You know, Tony is a drummer. He was good at what he did for Definitely Maybe, but it's a good job he got kicked out of the band because I don't think Morning Glory and the subsequent releases would have been what they were had he been the drummer. But his drums on this song, absolutely fantastic. Even though I prefer the War Child version, I do still like this version with Liam singing it in a more punk style. But yeah, it's a good song, Fadeaway. Dream it while you can, maybe someday I'll make you understand. Brilliant lyric, that. Yeah, good song, Fadeaway. Right, track 6, Swamp Song. This was the B-side to Wonderwall, or one of the B-sides to Wonderwall. So this is an instrumental piece, and it's got Paul Weller on it. He's playing the harmonica and the lead guitar. And in the 90s, I think Oasis walked out on stage to this song normally. Obviously in later years it was always Fucking in the Bushes from Standing on the Shoulder of Giants that they walked out to, but it used to be this in the 90s, and it's fair enough, but I don't care for it. I do not care to listen to this song on this album. It's also the 2 untitled tracks on Morning Glory, sliced down a little snippets of this. This is the full version of it. That's all we needed, the 40-second snippets on Morning Glory. We don't need the full thing. Why on earth they decided to put it on this album, I don't know, but for me personally, I always skip it. And I wrote here "Round Our Way," which I can't remember. I can't remember what it was a B-side to. I think that was maybe a B-side to Wonderwall. I do not understand for the life of me why that has not gone on this album in the place of this. "Round Our Way," brilliant song, but it's not on here. It should have been on here in the place as the Swamp Song, in my humblest of opinions. Anyway, track 7 is a live version of "I Am the Walrus," which is the B-side to "Cigarettes and Alcohol." I have always hated Oasis covering this. I do not think they cover this well. They do it as kind of a more punk, grunge style of song, and I don't like it. This song, it's probably because I'm that familiar with the original and I love the original that much. It's completely lacking its charm of the original, which is all the psychedelia and all the like acids basically that's in the original. This is just like a punk song and it's not very good. I don't like it. But an interesting fact is that this was the last song Oasis ever played live. Because on their last tour they always closed with this song, so by power of deduction it's the last song they ever did live. But in terms of listening to it, I normally skip this one as well, because I don't like Oasis covering it. If I want to listen to "I Am the Walrus," I'm going to listen to it done properly by the Beatles. Right, track 8, listen up. This is the B-side to "Cigarettes and Alcohol." This is one of my favourite Oasis songs. This is an absolutely fantastic song. And some of Liam's very best vocals, this, and Noel's best lyrics. Lyrics like, "Sailing down the river alone, I've been trying to find my way back home. But I don't believe in magic, life is automatic and I don't mind being on my own." What a great line, what a great lyric. And I love the guitar on this one, especially the solo. It's one of my favourite Oasis guitar solos, this song. But, again, this is maybe going to be a controversial opinion. If you've ever heard the album The Dreams We Had as Children, which is a live album from Noel, which I think he released in 2007, I want to say, which is basically a Teenage Cancer Trust gig he did at the Royal Albert Hall. And it's Noel, Gem, and I think it's just Noel and Gem, and possibly a fella on drums. Is it Terry someone? Can't remember his second name, on the drums. And an orchestra. And they play this song, and that version was actually the first version I heard. I heard that live version before I heard the recording of it. And I prefer it. I prefer it with Noel singing the lead and Gem playing the lead guitar. And the orchestra take this song somewhere else. It sounds like a more grown-up version of the song, a more evolved version of it. Yeah, if you've never heard the live version of it, from the album The Dreams We Have as Children, give it a listen. It is, in my opinion, the best version of Listen Up. And I know we'll get the usual people, Liam's not singing, it's crap. But if they want to miss out, then their loss, really. But yeah, Listen Up, the version on here, it's still a fantastic song. I'm not going to pretend it's not. It's still some of Liam's best vocals, the way he sings it. Top of his vocal game at that point. Brilliant recording. Yeah, really like Listen Up, one of my favourite Oasis songs. Right, track 9 is Rocking Chair, which was the B-side to Wonderwall. Straight off the bat, this is a better song than Wonderwall. A lot of people will argue that this is the best vocal performance that Liam Gallagher has ever done. For me, it's either this or Let's All Make Believe, which was the B-side to Go Let It Out. Yeah, the vocals on here, they're out of this world. There's no way in hell he could reach these notes anymore. He did attempt it a few years ago, I think, but I can't remember if he did a good job of it or not. I don't really follow Liam's solo live performances anymore, so I couldn't tell you if it was any good or not. But the lyrics on this from Noel, I think they're pure poetry. Stuff like, "I don't care for your attitude, you bring me down, I think you're rude." What a great lyric. Yeah. And his backing vocals, they really compliment Liam on this. Really good. And there's a nice little acoustic guitar solo from Noel. It's not often we get an acoustic guitar solo. Yeah, why on earth was this a B-side as well, when I know Wonderwall is like the most iconic Oasis song, but this is a better song than Wonderwall, and no one can convince me otherwise. Right, track 10 is Half the World Away, which was the B-side to Whatever. This is probably the most famous song on the album. It's one of the most famous Oasis songs. It's probably the most famous because it was the theme tune to The Royal Family. Plus Noel constantly does it live. Every gig you go to see Noel, he does this live. And because he does it live so often, I'm more used to how Noel does this live. And I actually think the way Noel plays it live these days is better than the recording, because he's added a horn section to it. He's been doing, probably for about 10 years now, he's been doing this song with a horn section. And it is so much better. When I listen to this recording now, I'm waiting for the horns and it's just missing it. And it would take this song to a completely different level on this album if it had a horn section. Yeah, it's kind of lacking something for me, this song now. And that's only because of the way it's done live. So, yeah, it just sounds more finished live. It sounds unfinished on here. And I've also said I'm kind of fed up of hearing this one. It's probably the one song on this album I'm tired of. But that's just my personal thing. I can't say it's a bad song because of that, because it is a classic. It is classic Oasis. It is classic Noel Gallagher. It is one of their most famous songs. It's a brilliant song. I'm just tired of hearing it. And it wouldn't bother me if Noel drops it from his set for a while, just to replace it with maybe another B-side, just for a little bit. One other thing about this song, you got to do the clap. If you don't do the clap, you're not an Oasis fan. You're not a true Oasis fan. Regardless of what you're doing, when this song comes on, got to do the clap. And a little interesting fact about this song is Noel plays the drums. There's not many Oasis songs where that is the case, but that is the case here. Noel is on the drums. Right, track 11, It's Good to Be Free. This was the B-side to Whatever. Fantastic song with fantastic lyrics. It's probably one of the more underrated ones on this album, because it's one of the best B-sides, I think. And it's one of the few songs where it doesn't matter if Liam sings it or Noel sings it. They both sing it just as well as each other. To be fair though, when Noel does it, he plays it a more stripped back acoustic thing, which is a much more moody sounding song. His first ever solo tour, he played this one live. He opened every night with it, I think, which was ironic, which is probably a good song to open your first solo tour with. It's Good to Be Free. But in terms of the Oasis version here, Liam's vocals, they are fantastic. And the keyboard from Bonehead on this song is fantastic. It's kind of subtle, but very good. I think there's maybe an accordion on it as well, also from Bonehead. Yeah, another little fact for you. Track 12, Stay Young. This was the B-side too. Do you know what I mean? Liam's vocals on this, they are excellent. And I love the chorus on this one. Hey, stay young and invincible, because we know just what we are. Getting this song is kind of wasted as a B-side. This came from the Be Here Now period, so why did it not go on the album in place of something like Magic Pie or Fade In or Fading Out? Yeah, it should have been on Be Here Now. It would have been one of the best songs on it. Great song. Yeah, good song, Stay Young. Track 13, Head Shrinker, B-side 2. Some might say I have never cared for this song. To me, this sounds like every member of the band is competing with each other to be the loudest. So you've got Tony trying to be loudest on the drums, and Noel and Bonehead trying to be loudest on guitar, and then Liam trying to be the loudest singing it. It just sounds like a mess. And I get it, it's the style of it. It's meant to be a punk song. Maybe it's just because I'm not the biggest punk fan in the world. I don't care for the song massively. Yeah, they could take this. You could take this off for me. I don't care for Head Shrinker. I never have done. I think Liam did it live recently, actually, on that River Thames gig that he did. But I'm not sure if he performed it well enough, because I don't actually think I've ever listened to that River Thames gig, and I've even got the album down there. But I've never listened to it right the way through. I've heard bits of it, but never the full thing. And I don't think I've ever heard him do it, Head Shrinker, on that gig. So, is it any good? Does he sing it well? I don't know. What I do know is the next track, which is the closing track, the Masterplan, the B-side to Wonderwall, is arguably the best song that they ever wasted as a B-side. What the hell was Noel playing at making this a B-side? B-side to Wonderwall, better song than Wonderwall. Again, like Going Nowhere, it's got a full orchestra on it. Who puts a full piece of orchestra on a B-side? It is a brilliant song, the Masterplan. It is one of the very, very best Oasis songs. The orchestra, when it kicks in on this song, on the intro, it sends shivers down my spine. Spine tinglingly good. Bonehead said recently well, maybe 2-3 years ago, that Liam should have sang this song. But Bonehead must be a lunatic, because if Liam had sung this song, it wouldn't be the song it is, obviously. But it wouldn't be the iconic song it is, I don't think, because I don't think Liam could have did this justice. The way Noel sings this is possibly it could be Noel's best ever vocal performance, this song. Yeah, I don't care what anyone says, no one will convince me otherwise. This song had to be sung by Noel. And again, Noel's harmonies with himself, they are out of this world. For most bands, if they release a song like the Masterplan, it would be their greatest song. There are not many bands who could churn out a song like this and then be ludicrous enough to make it their B-side. I've also said that I don't feel Oasis ever performed this live to its full potential until their last tour, for the simple reason that they had Gem by that point, and because in the 90s when they played it live, Bonehead I don't think can play lead guitar. So when Noel's on his acoustic, Bonehead's also on his acoustic, so they had to get a harmonica player in the 90s to sort of fill in for the lead guitar parts, which is good, don't get me wrong, but I just felt it was better in the later years when they could have the actual guitar solos from Gem. Yeah, really good. Brilliant song live to this day. I've seen Noel do it live a couple of times. Yeah, brilliant song. It should be in every Noel gig. Why he doesn't do it at every gig, I don't know. But anyway, that is the Masterplan. That is Oasis's compilation of B-sides. For the most part, yes, this is their best set of B-sides. I do think a song like Round Our Way should be on here. My Sister Lover as well. I always like that. I don't know why that's not on here. I'd put that in the place of I'm the Walrus. But something I will say is their later B-sides. There's some great songs in the later years that were B-sides. Stuff like Won't Let You Down, Swollen Hand Blues, Pass Me Down the Wine, Let's All Make Believe, Idler's Dream. They've never done another album like this. I wish, Noel, Liam, if you're watching, way to make a little bit more money, make a compilation album with your later day B-sides. Make a second album like this. Obviously don't call it the Masterplan. Christ, call it Thank You for the Good Times. There's your name. Yeah, I can't believe they've never done a second one of these, to be honest. But the Masterplan, great album. It's an album I don't really listen to very often, for the simple fact now that there's all the songs on this album are on the deluxe editions of Definitely Maybe, Morning Glory and Be Here Now, so there's not really any reason to listen to this. But yeah, Masterplan, great album. Oasis at their absolute peak. Yeah, fantastic. Anyway, that is it. That is now all the Oasis albums reviewed. I'm aware I haven't done Familiar to Millions and Nebworth, but I don't really do live albums, so probably won't do them. I haven't done Beady Eyes albums yet either. I'm aware I do need to do them. I'm just not in a hurry to do them. But the next big thing is Noel's next album, Council Skies, June 2nd. Very, very excited for that. 2 singles so far. Brilliant songs. But I won't say too much about them. I'll save that for a review. But yeah, any requests for what you want me to review next? I'm open to suggestions. Anyway, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you very soon. Ta-ra!